Trey told me like it's okay, you have to release your pain, and like this is gonna be like my therapy as a Laker fan. His words, not mine. This is my therapy right now. So I'm really being vulnerable to all your listeners about how I feel and my bold predictions. And I hope you guys love it and enjoy it.
From Sand Studios and made possible by Wavecast equipment, I'm Trey Remulla, and welcome to the White Stripe Podcast. Welcome back.
Thanks, Trey, for having me again. It's so funny because I was watching my first episode on here. I was so giddy. I was so excited. Like that's the spirit. That's the spirit of being a 2020 champion.
The 2020
right now,
champions. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll be more calm this time around, and you'll see that side of me wherein we didn't win, but okay, I'm ready.
It's funny because I asked you to come on, like early in the playoffs, right? I was just like, hey, whatever happens to the Lakers, come on afterwards. I was preparing for it to be like in a month. Like that's what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But
I hope so too.
The last time you were here.
After the
after
the Laker Warriors game, like I was really scared at that point, but then like LeBron gave me hope with that 3-pointer. So I'm like, okay, we got this fighting spirit in us. And then here comes Phoenix, ruins our way.
It's crazy because when you were last here, like what you said, you were champions. You came in, you were hyper, you know what I mean? You were like
I was so hyper. I was cringing myself. I'm sorry guys if you saw me, but that's the real me. That's the other side.
No, that's fine.
This time around, you're seeing me in this calm state, and I hope that I don't talk too fast right now and you guys would actually understand me more.
No, it's fine. I get it. You came from a championship. I was asking you questions about it. You were like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like you got it. And here you are now. How does it feel?
It feels I don't know how to feel honestly, because I mean we were champions in the bubble and there was just a short break for us. I guess that's how I feel like, oh my gosh, these boys haven't been resting that much, and I guess that's a big part of why we weren't as prepared to win this year. And I'm honestly, of course, I'm sad because as a Laker fan, I would expect more, and you know how our fan base is so wild about our defending champion state, and we just want to win it, you know. Even with AD injury, like LeBron having an ankle injury earlier, but then like we believe in this team so much, and like okay, maybe not this year.
It's crazy because how you feel is, well, I think I felt worse last year just because of how the Clippers ended, right? Like they blew the 3-1 lead. And as we're recording this, Clippers just won Game 7 of the first round. So I'm just oh my gosh. Like it feels like so much accomplishment. I know it's only the first round, but I'm just like I wanted to cry just how that all played out. So
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually happy for you guys. Like I can't believe I can't believe I'm just saying this right now on the podcast. I remember last year I was just saying how much I hated the Clippers, and now I'm like, wow, you guys really fought hard.
They're a better team this year. Like they're, you know what I mean?
I feel so too.
They had to be humbled from last year, I feel like. Like I feel like last year they were too confident. And then they just didn't do the adjustments on time and all that stuff. And this year you have Ty Lue, which I feel like is a big difference from Doc.
I know.
Just based on like in-game stuff, right?
Like aside from like physically preparing for the team, like it's really a lot of mental battle too. I guess that's how the Lakers struggled this year as well. Like I mean, aside from us like having a short break physically, I guess with the mental battle, like it was so hard to also live up to that pressure, like to be defending champions. That's really a big thing. And you know, the haters left and right, but you know, at least we gave it our all, I guess. I accepted it now. To those who don't know, I actually went on a out of town trip after the Lakers lost. I did that on purpose because I'm like, oh my god, I need a break.
How did you process that during the trip?
Actually, it's so funny. Like people might find it really weird that I take this personally, but that's how much I love my Lakers. That
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really part of the family and stuff like that. And I remember because the Suns are like really ahead, right, of
Yeah.
the game 6. So like my friends are just messaging me left and right. Oh my gosh, see you in Cancun, stuff like that. Can't wait for their beach stories. And like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah, yeah.
excited for that too. And there was a time also in the last game where the Lakers were kind of like going up against the Suns that time. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, there's hope. But
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
it didn't reach that far though. So I was sad and I was like, okay. At first, of course, obviously, I was like mentally shocked because
Of
I
course.
mean, I kind of knew it was coming. Like I think that a lot of people were also telling me like, I don't think we're gonna do it this year. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really just a different situation right now that I for myself can't say. It's really for the team, and I guess it's really their battle. And it was hard for me to accept at first because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just don't want the haters to get through me because like I'm an
Yeah, yeah.
emotional person, like the trash talks here
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I don't. That's why I took a story and I'm like, I'm not ready to hear trash talks right now. Like let me grieve first
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
loss, but after that, I for sure will just accept it because that's just how basketball is. You know, you win some, you lose some.
Right.
So
You know what? Like a year ago, I wouldn't have understood how you felt a
yeah,
year
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
But because of okay, so last year, of course, like we all know, Clippers choked, all that stuff, right? Like three
Yeah, yeah,
one,
yeah.
all that stuff. Denver.
Uh-huh.
The day they lost Game 7 to Denver that year, I went into work and my friend was just like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, uh, no, I'm not."
I feel you though.
And then my friend was like, "Oh, it's okay, bro." And then I was just like, "This
No,
sucks,
so
man." Because I never poured so much emotion from start to
mhm.
finish of a season,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
for it
It
to end
really
like,
hits different,
just
right?
for it to end like that. And I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh!"
That's it?
Like
Like
I
all
was
the
like,
time I
"That's it."
invested?
Yeah. So now when, like, for example, all my friends who are Lakers fans, I avoided the trash talk for
Yeah. You're a good friend.
this
I can
time.
say that right now. You're such a good friend.
This time, like even with yours, it's like, you know what? Like I'm not gonna ask you about it yet.
Yeah,
Like
just wait for the podcast and
like
let's
I'll wait for the
handle things
podcast.
maturely because when we're emotional, we tend to say things in
Yeah.
a different manner. And I guess that's just how I am starting to learn stuff because I'm trying to mature myself into this fangirl state wherein like I want to put aside my emotions. I mean, as much as I want to feel it. So the
Mm-hmm.
stage 1 of my of accepting this Laker loss, I guess, like making it sink in for a bit, like really just I'm grateful that we're work from home because if I would be working in the office right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of my colleagues would like pick on me and pick
Oh
on the
yeah.
Lakers team for
Oh yeah,
sure.
for sure. For sure.
So
It's
right,
so easy to pick on the Lakers. Like
yeah,
when you guys lose, it's so easy to pick on.
because we're the easiest like target or like we're
Oh
the
yeah, for
piconest
sure.
of them all. Like
Oh,
we're
for
really
sure.
emotional
For
for some
sure.
sort. Like that's how I bond with my like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
family. Like we're all like on the same boat with how much like we're dominant, etc. in the league and whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, so there when the Lakers lost that day, I was really sad, and I'm like, oh, also because I had meetings that day, and of course,
Yeah, of
my
course.
colleagues would know like, oh, Talo Lakers and stuff like that, and we were like, yeah, and then I was just quiet the whole time 'cause I really didn't want to say anything more
Yeah,
to
yeah,
defend them. And I just let them trash talk me. Okay, I'm like, we're going back next year
yeah.
anyway.
You know,
Just
one big reason why I didn't want to trash talk
yeah.
is because the next, because that during the time we were down 3-2,
Mhm.
Clips were down 3-2, so I was just like,
Yeah.
tomorrow I could lose it. Like I'm not
Anything
gonna
can
like
happen.
in my head I was just like, if because that was game 6, sorry, in
Yeah.
Dallas, so I was just like, yeah, like the Clips might lose. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
trash talk now, and then tomorrow I'm gonna get it all back. And it's not like it's distributed. Like I'm the only Clippers fan, like among my close friends. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
all gonna
You
hit
guys like
me
are a
like
limited
right
bunch.
away, right? So I'm just
Uh-huh.
like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna like I'm gonna shut up first.
Yeah, for a
I'm not.
bit. And honestly, like I'm so sorry, but like I thought like Luca Magic would like work wonders in this series, and
Don't
I'm
be
so sad
sorry.
for
Don't be sorry.
I'm
He
so
was
sad for
amazing.
him. I know. Talk about his 46 points. I mean, earlier, I think. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I wasn't able to watch the full games.
Hmm.
I was knocked out in my sleep.
That's fine.
But I've heard like he's really did a great job and
Yeah.
stuff. And like I just feel sad for him. But like, I'm pretty sure that he's gonna bounce back
Oh
next
yeah.
season for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, there's a part of me that said, you know what? If they lose, if the Clips lose,
Mm-hmm.
I won't be so mad. Like, I'll be really disappointed,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, of
but
course.
I wouldn't be so mad because I believe Luca, like in Luca so much. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think he could be like top 20
I
someday. You know
know.
what I mean? Like
I'm
just
always
how
like
good
saying,
he plays. Like,
mhm,
so in my head, I'm just like,
no
yeah,
doubt.
I'm not mad at that. Like, if he can be like, if he's like in the LeBron trajectory or whatever,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I understand that. I mean, like, of course I'll be sad, but like, it is what it is. So it was funny because, yeah, Nathan, my cousin, was here
Mm-hmm.
the day that they lost, and Nate was just like, yeah, like Lakers lost, and I was like, it's okay, bro, it's fine. I might join you tomorrow. Like, you never know. And then Nate was like, yeah, you might join me tomorrow, and I was like, yeah, we might, we might.
I know. Fun fact to your listeners, like Trey and I talked when like the Lakers lost and then the
Yeah,
Clippers are about to lose. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm scared for you, but like let's see what happens. And look
yeah,
at
yeah.
look at the Clippers now. I'm so proud of you guys.
When I
Wow,
watched it,
congratulations.
when I watched the game this morning, because this morning
Uh-huh.
was as of recording, it was game 7.
Mhm.
It's like,
Did you
what,
stay up? Did you stay up late? Like
I
you
so
woke up
it
early.
was at 3:30, right?
Uh-huh.
I
I
slept at
know.
12:30.
Uh-huh.
Woke up at 3:30, watched the whole thing,
Oh
slept
my
again at
gosh.
6:30.
Oh.
Like, okay, so I was sleeping already. It was such a
Mm-hmm.
great sleep too. Like, I felt like it was a deep sleep.
Okay.
So my alarm goes off, and I was just like, like, do I want to miss like a quarter? Like, I was kind of thinking about that, right?
Yeah, just watch the second half or
Yeah.
something.
So I was
It's
just
too
thinking about.
early.
I was like, should I do that? Should I do that? So I was like, wait, I'll just open my laptop. So I opened my laptop, and the intro, like the NBA intro, starts.
Oh,
Da-da-da-da-da,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Game
that intro.
7, and I was
Oh
just like,
my
no, I know,
gosh. The thrill of it. Your whole body awakens or something.
like the intro, it's like juk juk juk
Yeah,
juk, and it's
yeah.
like all the videos, and I was like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
nope, I'm watching this. I'm watching this.
The thing I miss most about the playoffs this year would probably be the audience. Like, I mean,
Oh yeah,
there's like a huge difference. I remember last year, it was really a quiet crowd with the Lakers and stuff, like winning in the bubble. And
yeah.
I forgot actually how fans could really be such a huge effect, like
Oh yeah,
negatively and positively. I mean,
yeah.
positively in a manner where, I don't know, it just gives you chills whenever you
It
play,
does.
especially in the home court and stuff. And I could be honest with you, like whenever we would play in the Phoenix Arena, I would get scared because people
Yeah.
would be like, boo, something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why are you doing like this to my Lakers? And then like
Right.
it's just the thing that I miss the most, that I forgot that aspect, that wow, I mean, the crowd really
Yeah.
does such a great thing talaga.
It was funny because during the bubble, I was like, you know what? I don't really miss the crowd during the
Yeah,
bubble,
yeah,
right? I was
yeah.
like, I don't really miss them. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
pure basketball, right? And all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But this year,
Mm-hmm.
because it was a gradual increase in
Yeah.
attendance,
Mm-hmm.
there's one game I watched in like the middle of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a Golden State against somebody. I forgot who,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but it was one of those Steph games, whatever. So Steph like shoots like from half court, right?
Yeah,
And you hear
yeah.
the crowd go,
Yeah.
and I was
And
like,
you
oh, like you don't get that from like the
Yeah,
automated
you know,
cheering. You know what I mean?
even
So
my virtual fan wouldn't like even if you unmute yourself, like
like
me voice
you could
can't
hear it.
hear it.
You
Yeah,
could hear the arena go,
really gives you
and then
goosebumps.
and then
Yeah,
if they're home, of course it's a cheer. If they're on the
yeah,
road, it's oh,
yeah.
oh.
It
I
really gives a big difference.
it does
Even
like
even
yeah
the talent shows and stuff. Like I miss watching those like shallow stuff, like people dancing and
yeah.
stuff. Like
Or
that's
like you like with the
cool.
dogs and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
know.
just what
That's what's making the NBA games like talaga like ooh, like aside from the basketball factor, of course, it's really fun to
yeah.
watch as well. I
It's
miss
just
that.
fun seeing people in the arena just
Yeah,
believe
in general, yeah,
in the team.
yeah,
Um,
for
I want to
sure.
ask you though about the games because of course, as the as the Lakers fan, that
Okay.
you
Let
know.
me drink water before I answer this question.
So how was Lakers Twitter afterwards?
Oh, actually, I kind of shut myself down, like social media and stuff. And I'm so sorry because I'm not ready talaga to hear like the trash talk and whatever. And
Yeah,
but of course, like with the people I follow and stuff like that, of course, we ended in the positive note. Like I follow like Laker related accounts and stuff like that, and we were like, oh, bounce back next year and all those positive stuff. But
yeah,
I wasn't really ready to like read these memes, and I could tell, like, especially the free agency this season, like with Kuz, with Caruso, and
Mm-hmm.
how badly Schroeder played, like in the latter half of the year. I could, my friends would also like send me these memes, and I can't believe I have to say that. Yeah, I mean, I guess Kuzma's ready for a trade. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm just finally realizing it now. But like, oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, like, what do you think of a Kuzma trade?
I mean, I'll be game for it. Like right now, I have to put my feelings aside and wait. Remember how like all the it's so funny how, well, I don't know if it's just my opinion, but like when you become a Laker and then you get traded out of the Lakers, you suddenly become a superstar and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
So that's what happened
yeah,
with Julius Randle, with Brandon Ingram,
uh
with
huh.
Lonzo. I, like like
To an
those
extent,
boys.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not naman like really
But you
star
get
player,
you
but
get
like
better.
you
Even
get better.
Zubac. Look at Zubac.
Yeah, like in the Clippers. Oh yeah, I miss that guy. So yeah, I mean, maybe right now I'm just thinking, wow, maybe Kuz can be a better player in another team. Like who knows, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe he could improve and make his name for himself and stuff like that. And I can't believe I'm saying that this year as a Kuzma fan, but like, oh, okay, I think I'm ready for it.
I found it really sad because when you up so as a Clippers fan, a part of me was wanted you guys to lose, obviously.
Yeah,
But the other part of me wanted the two LA teams to go against each other
yeah. I
in the conference
mean,
finals.
that would be
So
so fun.
so to me, I was just like,
Oh,
ah, like yay,
yeah,
but
but oh,
ah,
you're like
because like
torn.
because that's what I've been wanting since last year. Like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
who follows the NBA has been wanting that since last year. You know what I mean?
Be like an equivalent of like an Ateneo LaSalle thing, like if we were in the
Exactly.
Philippines, or
You're just
even
like
more.
it's
The
just
trash
like
talk would be
the
insane.
trash talk would be imagine like Clippers home games and like just a bunch of Lakers fans will be there
Yeah,
just to
for
trash talk.
sure.
That would be so much fun to watch. So when you guys were eliminated, I was kind of sad because of that. You know what I
Oh,
mean? I wanted to have that
you
matchup,
could
but of course,
relate to
like
that.
a part of me is also like, yay, I guess.
I guess okay, so I can be honest with you too. Like when you guys like won that round versus the Mavericks,
Uh
I'm
huh.
like, wow. I mean, I was waiting for you guys to lose, but I can't believe I'm actually proud of you guys for making this far. I mean, Kawhi is really something else, I guess.
Yeah.
I know.
No, it's funny because like when because you have a friend that sold me
Yeah.
cards, right?
Okay,
Like,
guys, a quick backstory that before all of this, my friend was like, "Oh, I remember you have a friend who's like a big Hawaii fan, so why not give him these trading cards of mine?" So that happened. Okay, you go, Cuento, on your side.
no, yeah. So you message me and you're
Uh
like,
huh.
hey, my friend's selling these cards, all that stuff. And then I was like, I've been thinking about it, but
Yeah.
because I have friends and
Mm-hmm.
acquaintances who are into the card thing, but
Yeah.
like they're really collectors. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they buy the expensive ones.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard that, I was like, I'm not ready to like really buy expensive cards, right? But you sent me it was a pack of 6 cards, all
Yeah.
Kawhi, and then I was just like, like I kind of want those. And then the
You can't say
price,
no to that.
the price was reasonable, right? So I was
Yeah, it
thinking like, should
was.
should I get it? Should I get it? And then when I saw that there was one Toronto card,
Mm-hmm.
so it was 6 cards in the pack,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one Toronto card. I was like, all right, if the Clippers
That's
don't
the
make it,
deal break.
if the Clippers don't make it, at least I have that. Like I
Oh,
have.
okay.
I was
You
like,
have one safety card,
I was like
and the
one.
rest
I
you
have
can
one
trade
safety.
yourself.
Like if he leaves the Clippers, I'll be like, yeah, I have from the championship year
The
card.
OG, the
Like, see, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. No,
OG.
but so when the cards came, like honestly, it was hard for me because I felt even more invested,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was just
It's like
like,
you were like all in.
yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, if they lose and I'm gonna be staring at a pile of cards that
Uh-huh.
I bought, like emotionally. You know what I mean?
I know.
But they got out of the first round, so I'm happy about that at least.
Yeah, at
Right?
least
Yeah.
I bought this 30 pack 2020 card that
Wow.
doesn't have a value right now. It's the Lakers one, so it's like filled
Okay.
with Lakers, etc. And like, oh my gosh, I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I can sell this now. Joke. I really don't know, man. Like what you
Yeah.
said, you have friends like who are really invested in this, and I thought that it was just like, oh, okay, card collecting, but like
Yeah.
no, like it's really more complex than I thought.
It
So
is.
you have to buy these like card holders, protectors,
Yeah.
whatever. You have to buy these clear books and stuff. So it really is a different community out there with
Oh yeah,
NBA
for sure.
collecting cards.
For sure. So I got the cards and I was just like, I was looking at it and I was like, you better not disappoint me. Like, jeez, that was crazy. Although when it comes to the Lakers though, I'm not, because I mean, like, let's be honest, those injuries,
Yeah, I
like,
know. I was watching their interviews,
uh-huh,
their game 6 interviews like last night. I
uh-huh.
wanted to hear from them because like I'm already okay, like oh I
Yeah.
accepted it already. And then I've been hearing them like it was so hard to adjust with the injuries. Like of course they had to change roles every now and then. Like
Mm-hmm.
AD would be back, LeBron would be back, and then suddenly they get injured and stuff like that. And can I be honest that we really don't have a shooting guard or like a guard. So
You
I
don't.
guess that's what makes me sad about the Lakers. Na parang we don't have that consistency, and I guess we don't deserve to be in the championship like stage right now because we really don't have consistent shooters and stuff like that. And I guess like we solely rely on AD and LeBron like
Yeah.
for the past year or so. And yeah, it's a good thing that you guys have leaders in the pack and stuff like that. But I guess for me, like it was more of like an opportunity for other players to like step out, ganyan. But then like of course I'm not there in the court, and maybe there are things that fans can't see and stuff like that. But that's what I hope for the Lakers next year is for us to have a guard. And it's so funny because like I have a friend who's like a Portland fan, and he's like, oh, Dame Lillard for 2022 Lakers, and I'm
Okay.
like, ooh, that's like, oh, okay, whatever. We
Yeah.
need a guard.
It was funny when the Blazers went out. I saw a
Mm-hmm.
meme where just like everyone just started putting Dame on their favorite jersey, like their favorite team's jersey, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Like,
I
you
know.
know, what I mean, all the rumors, everyone talking
Mm-hmm.
about it, all
Yeah.
that stuff. It's funny and it's interesting to me because I feel like while on paper the Lakers team was better this year,
Mm-hmm.
like
But
they were younger, all that stuff, right?
uh-huh.
You had a guy like Drummond, but in reality, like they're not as
I
good.
really, honestly though, like I expected a lot from the trades, like with Drummond and stuff, and
Yeah.
the Schroeder, and like, oh my gosh, like okay, I think we have a shot, etc. And then when they started playing, even Mark Gasol, how can we forget Mark
Oh
Gasol?
yeah,
Like
Marc Gasol.
I believe that he wasn't being utilized. Like I don't know, like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't have enough playing time and stuff like that. So I'm really sad for like how we could have like used them on court and stuff like that. But then again, I'm not the coach and I don't like, call the shots. And
Yeah.
okay, but then I guess those were the aspects wherein I would say I hope that we improve on next year. Or like I don't know, like it's just so sad like how we
Yeah.
lost. Mhm.
And like AD got injured because okay, when AD had that huge game too, I was just like,
Mhm.
yeah, like that's
And
it. I was
yeah,
like, the
like
Suns have no chance anymore
same.
because when I saw him do that, I was just like, yeah, if AD can do this, like, well, how can they stop him?
Yeah, I know. And that was a time wherein like the Lakers fans were just super hyped up and
Yeah.
like, come on, defending champions, blah blah blah. And then here goes the next games and like Booker did this. And the thing here is I can't hate him. I can't hate Booker because he's so good. Like he
Yeah.
deserves that slot and he's worked hard for it, I'm sure. And it's just so amazing how and it's gonna be a wild ride this year because there are no Warriors, there are no Lakers. So these new teams, like wow, I'm ready. I'm ready to
Yeah.
watch it. So literally, I don't know who I'm gonna root for after the Lakers, but I know that I'm gonna have fun like watching these
Mhm.
young bloods play out there.
You know what? It was funny because, and I want to ask you about this too, but when you look at how the West played out, other than the Clippers and Mavs series, they it's like really, really young. You know what I
I
mean?
know. Like talk about Ja Morant, like defeating the Warriors
I
in
know
that
exactly.
round. Like I really didn't. I was so proud of him. at that moment, because I feel like I don't know, man. I just have like things for like Gen Z people, like wow, because like we're Gen Z, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, this generation is something else. Like even not just in basketball, I mean, yeah, like in
Excuse me.
basketball as well. Like wow, how they can put their name out there. Like they're really changing the game, and like with Trey Young right now, like
Yeah.
all my predictions are wrong. Like I made this like TikTok video about my predictions. I think you saw that,
I
and
did. I
I
did.
I was just blabbering there. I even said Lakers in 5, like confidently there. And I'm so sorry for the people out there who saw that. But you know, the NBA is the NBA and it's a different kind of season this year. But anyway, yeah, so I would do my predictions and stuff like that. And I can't
Uh-huh.
believe like none of them are coming true. So I'm
Yeah.
just excited about how these young blood will like serve the season. Like I'm pretty
Right.
sure it's gonna be exciting.
It's funny because I did see it. When did you post that TikTok? Was that after game 2?
That the problem with me is I think I posted it a bit too late. I posted that like yeah after game 2 or like after game 3. I'm not sure
Okay.
how much like
But like
when I
the Lakers just won.
yeah, the Lakers just won. So I was pretty confident
Yeah.
about my word there. And it's so funny because the TikTok algorithm, you really don't know when it's gonna go up.
Yeah, you
So
know.
at first it was like okay, like 1,000 views. Okay, I'm not gonna get crucified for this, like my predictions. And then I refreshed the day after the Lakers lost.
Uh-huh.
The game 5, I think. And I'm having like so many notices and hate comments like, oh, Lakers in 5, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. I'm sorry it blew up in the wrong time.
Why do you think it's so easy to mock Lakers fans?
I think we're the most vulnerable or like most picon, like what I said. Like it's so funny because I guess that's the like for me, like that's I would say safest or like the easiest team to join, I guess. Like if you're like a starting NBA fan and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And there's like a big thing for LA. It's either you're an LA fan or a New York fan or something like that.
Mhm.
So there, I guess that's what makes us so funny as Laker fans is because beyond like being a Laker fan, like parang we have different groups within Laker fans. Like there are different levels. Like there's emotional ones and there's these really super overconfident ones. Like no, there with my TikTok videos, there's like a mix of like
Uh-huh.
extremes, like haters and then these super avid fans. Like no Lakers, blah blah blah. Like we can win it, blah blah blah. And I'm like oh. So yeah, I guess that's how. Well, what I love about the Laker fans is that we really like drive together no matter how much we get hated on, and I guess that's how we build relationship with each
Yeah.
other. Like with how we can, and it's just funny how we can just create excuses every time. Like this year our excuse is LeBron is going to focus on the Toon Squad and the
Yeah.
versus the
Space Jam. Yeah.
yeah, Space Jam this year. So he can take this stress. And it's so funny because every year we get to have an excuse that I use in every time my friends try to trash talk me. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun. It's really fun.
I ask because you're in that end, and I moderately enjoy making fun of Lakers fans.
Yeah.
Because-
okay. We're
because-
easiest to pick on.
Because there are people like you know what I mean? Like there are people like you
Yeah.
who are like really invested, who are like
Yeah.
really like you love the team, you know the
Yeah.
team, you know the coaches, you know how things happen, you know the stories.
Uh-huh.
And then there are others that just follow because they're the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like there's just some
Yeah.
that are like
Especially here in the Philippines.
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's a huge following.
Huge.
Like I don't know
Huge.
how, like the fan base here is like 70% the Laker fan. And I have no like hate against them, but like I guess there are a lot of newbies talaga who like pick Lakers as their favorite team for some reason. Maybe because of LeBron.
yeah, or Kobe, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
makes sense. It makes sense
Yeah.
to kind of root for them at first and then trail away
Yeah.
into another team. But it's interesting to me because when you talk about Lakers fans, again, most of my friends are Lakers fans. So when they lost, I was just like, yep. I was like,
Oh.
I was like, I know how that feels, but like, yep,
Yeah.
that's what it is. And I was thinking, because okay, I have a friend that I'm really close to, right? And last year he was like there when I felt bad about losing. I messaged him this year when they were
Oh,
losing.
no.
When you guys were
Oh,
losing,
my.
I messaged him
Oh,
this
my.
year. But I messaged him. I was like, "Are you okay?" And then
Wow.
he messages me back. And then he was like, bro, everybody's injured and you're losing it to a 22-year-old. I'm like, chill. And
That's so funny.
when I went online to talk about Kawhi, I lost like a few followers. And I'm not mad at that. It's just so funny. I'm just like,
Really,
yeah.
you did? Well, I
Or
guess.
when I talk about the Clippers in general, I'm just
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah,
go
yeah.
Clippers. People are like, I guess they're like, I don't want to hear about this. And then they unfollow. It's
They're not
fine.
ready for that yet.
It's okay with me.
They're
Like, I'm
super
not mad at
biased.
that.
The thing about being a Laker fan is because I don't know, man. Like there are some people who recently just moved to become a Laker fan because of LeBron.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
thing,
that's
the
true.
thing with me is I mentioned before that I was really a Kobe fan and stuff like that, and I wasn't really comfortable with LeBron like being in the team and stuff like that, and I had to adjust.
Yeah.
And I guess there are people like there are different kinds of Laker fans. So there's like me who really supports the team, and there are some people who like supports LeBron individually. So they just follow LeBron wherever team he goes and stuff like that. So some are like really biased about him and stuff, and some really don't have a team. Like they just have
Yeah.
different players to root for, and some fans are just anybody but the Lakers. Like they just they every year
No,
they
you're
pick
right.
on a,
You're
yeah,
right.
right. Like
You're right.
any team as long as it's not the Lakers. So
If you
that's how they
look at the
that's
people
how
who
they
rooted for the Suns this year,
I
they
know,
probably
like
rooted for Miami last year. Like,
I know.
that's probably the same kind of
That's
person.
why I was shocked how okay we have Suns fans now.
I know one Suns fan, like one actual Suns fan.
Yeah.
And he posted on his story that, of course, they won. And I messaged him. I was like, hey, guys. I was like, hey, bro, happy for you. And then he was like, bro, I'm crying. And I was like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So the thing is here with this season, like I'm so excited. Like you guys deserve it. Like honestly, it's exciting to watch. And I know that people are saying like, oh, what if the NBA viewers will go down this year, like with the Warriors and the Lakers not here? I don't think that's true. I mean, well, I don't know. Like that's how NBA is, and
It
you really
could,
can't.
but,
That's the beauty of it. Like, you really don't know what's gonna happen, and you're just gonna watch and enjoy the game and enjoy greatness, especially led by Gen Zs or like young blood.
hmm it's interesting because I was listening to this other podcast about it, and they really just explained and they talked about it. It feels like a new wave. It really does,
Yeah.
especially in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to, because okay, the East, you still have Brooklyn, you know what I mean, you still have like this
Yeah.
super team, whatever, but especially in the West, and especially when people thought Luka was gonna win, because
I
you'd think
know.
Luka, Jokic slash Michael Porter, and
and
and Booker, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at that West, you're just like crazy how
Mm-hmm.
it if Kawhi lost, right, if the Clippers lost,
Mm-hmm.
that's just people who are like what, 25, 26 and under.
I know. I can't believe it. Like, wow, they're really changing the game.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. That's why the Lakers are like, we don't have that set of like young bloods anymore. Like they're kind of like LeBron's what, 30 plus, and like
36,
they're
I think.
36. Yeah. 36. And like I mean he's great and all, but he's not in his prime anymore. Like to be honest, like he's really slowed down a bit and stuff, like with his basketball like agility and stuff, and
Yeah.
also AD with all the injuries as well, like that would take a lot of time to rest and stuff. And I guess that's how we can't pick it this year, and we have to watch out for these young bloods arriving, and I'm excited to see that actually. And I think that I'm ready. The world should see how like these young bloods can turn into superstars one day.
For sure. What matchup are you most excited to watch for round 2?
Round 2, this is hard. Well, I was really rooting for like, what was I rooting for? Well, in the East, I'm excited to see like Atlanta and Sixers. I don't know
Yeah.
why, because of Trey Young. Like my prediction was Sixers, but then again, with the win last night, I guess
Yeah.
like Atlanta won again. I guess for the next round for the West, Denver, who's the Denver
Suns.
and Suns? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Like, let's see if Booker and Jokic like do a battle or something.
It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be crazy because I'm
I
honestly
know.
like they showed like a graphic today about how the last championship won by a team that's still in. It's like 1980s.
Wow.
You know
Yeah,
what I
that's a
mean?
long time.
It's like 1950s, 1970s, 1980s, and then the rest were never won a championship. So in my head, I was just like, this is crazy.
I
How
know. To really create history
yeah.
at this time by these young people.
Let's turn it back just a little bit to a happier time for you. Quick words. What are your quick thoughts on the Lakers and Warriors game? Because that was really fun.
Yeah, actually, I was with talking. I have a lot of Warrior like fan friends as well. So like we were messaging each other during the game
Yeah,
because that Warriors game, they were ahead for a few quarters, I guess,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
I was so afraid. I was already readying myself for the trash talk and all, and
Uh-huh.
readying myself for the loss that time. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And I really lost hope. Like there are times where I would just shut out the TV because like I'm not ready for this Laker team to play in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
screen, like because they're not playing well and whatever. And in the last quarter, I mean, the LeBron with the miracle shot. I mean,
Sheesh.
what? Like not even a 3-point line, like even
On
like
Steph.
yeah, I know on Steph. So like and Steph's reactions though, like those memes
Yeah,
after the
he was like,
game.
oh.
It is so funny. Like I was trash talking like my other friends, like, oh yeah, whatever. Because my friends were like, oh, see Lakers versus Memphis, like see you around, blah blah
Yeah, yeah,
blah.
yeah.
I'm like, no, that ain't happening.
It was crazy. That was so much fun to watch.
I
Because
know.
the reason why I bring that up is because that felt, that was the finals matchup for years.
I know. It felt like another version of like the Clipper Laker game, like something like that, like
Yeah, it
something.
just felt like the game of
Yeah,
before the
like
playoffs.
people
You know what I
with the
mean?
most fan bases, and like
Yeah,
with Steph and LeBron, the people that fans love to watch as
yeah.
well. I
What
wish
do you
I
think
could
is
have
gonna
like
happen?
watched that live.
Oh, same. What do you think is gonna happen to the Lakers in the offseason?
Well, I think that they should really like start training. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I was watching their interviews, like what I said, and they were like mentally preparing themselves and stuff like that. But I guess they should have the rest first. I'm excited to see their beach stories, not gonna lie. And of course, I guess for me, the Lakers should really just rest up a bit and like regroup and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I heard this interview with Rob Pelinka, and like he was saying like the interviewers were asking like the free agency and stuff, and of course he was safe with his answers
Of
that
course.
each player has like a role, blah blah blah. But I won't be surprised if that changes any minute into the summer. And I'm just hoping that they find their sweet spot, or like I don't know, like there it also goes a long way to have like a team chemistry. I
Hmm.
don't know. I mean, I guess they, like what I said earlier as well, like they just purely rely on LeBron and AD, which is okay, but like it would be better like if they would like rely on each other, you know what I mean, and
Hmm.
try to shoot those shots. Like when you watch different teams, what I love about it is you don't expect these players like to step up and stuff like that. Like anybody can shoot and play defense, and with the
Hmm.
Lakers it's just really inconsistent for some point at some point in some
Yeah.
parts of the game as well. So that's what I'm sad about with the Lakers this year, and the inconsistency that these players have been doing. And I just wish that they would really improve on that, and like with their mental state as well, like with playing and stuff like that. But I really do hopeful for the Lakers. Like then again, we need a guard, so go
Do
on.
you
And
want to keep Schroeder?
honestly, I don't. It's so funny because I saw this tweet where Schroeder has this description on his Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Los Angeles Laker point guard or guard,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like he removed it at some
He did.
point. I really feel bad about him because I don't know if it's his fault or the coach's fault that Frank Vogel like is making him play so many minutes. Like I
Mm.
don't know, man. Like you could have just subbed him for somebody else, but like I'm pretty sure like he's so pressured. But then the first half, like he was really showing out, like with
Yeah.
his first few games in the Lakers, and I was like, oh okay, I think he's a good trade. I guess that he can do something for the Lakers. And then
Right.
the latter part came, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? But like, okay, like we can trade him off. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like we need a more consistent guy who can make threes for
You're
sure.
right. Like, it's so sad just seeing somebody
Yeah,
fighting for a contract.
Yeah.
And then he
yeah.
that happens to him, you're kind of just like, that sucks. Like, I'm sorry, bro.
Especially if it's just not any other team. It's the Lakers.
It's
So
the Lakers.
The pressure. And I'm pretty
You're
sure
yeah.
Mark Gasol felt the same way. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Your brother is a Laker and he was part of like the Kobe era, like greatness. And then now he's like, he's on the bench most of the time. And like,
it's so sad.
It's just so sad how we could have or the coaching staff could have just utilized them properly. But then again, not our place.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on how the Suns finished things?
I am really happy for them, honestly. Like, even if like I'm so bitter about it, but then they deserved it. Like, they've been like, that's the difference that I could see while they were playing with the Lakers. Like, they really had team chemistry. They weren't doubting their shots. Like, they were just confidently playing. And with Devin Booker, he was just confident in his game, and I can't say no because like he had his Mamba mentality spirit on. So, okay, fine, I'm giving this to you. You deserve it. Like, it's a Kobe inspired thing. And
he was like, I was in Staples.
I know.
Staples Center. I felt
Kobe's presence and stuff. Okay, dude, bro, I'm giving this to you. Okay, fine, you deserve it. And I'm just happy that he doesn't have his Kardashian curse.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's
he's like the only one.
He's the only one, and I'm pretty shocked that he doesn't like has that curse. It's just so funny. It's just pop culture and stuff that, where Kendall really loves to date around NBA players. And with Devin Booker, it's like he's 2 times better.
It's funny because I was downstairs. I was watching like one of the games. And then my mom comes up to me and then she was like, oh, how's the NBA? Like, is it the finals yet? And I was like, oh, no, not yet. We're still in the first round, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes like, oh, is Steph still there? And I was like, no, Steph's not here anymore. And then she's like, oh, LeBron. And I was like, oh, they're about to lose. And then my mom was like, oh, who's beating them? And then I was just like, oh, the Suns. And she was like, who's on the Suns? And I was like, oh, do you know Chris Paul? And then she was like, no. And then I was like, Devin Booker. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I know Devin Booker. He's the boyfriend of Kendall.
Kendall.
Yeah, he's the boyfriend of Kendall. And I was like, oh, yeah, him. And then my mom was like, oh, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, because you mentioned Chris Paul. Like, yeah, I guess like the matchups that he had with LeBron as well, like they call each other brothers and stuff. Yeah. So like I'm happy for him as well. Like he doesn't have a ring yet, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I mean, I give it for the Suns. Like give it a shot, man. Like go for it. I really support the Suns this round. Like I'm not really rooting for any team right now because like the Lakers are off.
That's how I felt last year.
Okay, well, whoever wins, like your place last year. Like, okay, I'm just excited. I'm just here. I'll support you guys. Stuff. So, just be subjective in my own way.
Last year, I was like, okay, whoever the Lakers goes against. Like, I was in that mode.
Now I don't have any team to hate, honestly, because you guys are so good this year. Like, as much as I want to hate the Clippers, but I don't want to waste my time hating. Just enjoy the game. Wow.
You know what? Wow. I'll be honest. I was so nervous for the Clippers. Like, I was so nervous.
For sure you were.
And then Kawhi goes out there with a game 6 with his 45 points.
Mm-hmm.
Took it over. And like, I was explaining earlier how, like to somebody, I was explaining how it was so fun to watch game 6 and 7 because you'll literally watch Kawhi take a shot, run back, defend Luka. And they'll try to do a switch, right? But both defenders, so let's say it's Kawhi and like Paul George or Terrence Mann, whatever, they would switch back every time. And I was like, yes, keep doing this. Like Kawhi, like you're finally like taking the challenge and, you know, going through all those screens and all that stuff and the switches. And in my head, I was like, I wanted to cry. I was like, he's finally playing his defense. This wasn't here game 1 and 2. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, my cards. I don't regret buying them.
It was worth it. Every penny. It's so funny how the netizens would say like, oh, the Clippers had to make themselves lose so that parang, I don't know, so that you guys would not go to the next round, if I'm not mistaken, or like the Hornets and stuff like that. And now look where you guys are. So that's the excuse of Clipper fans right now. Like, oh, look at the Laker fans now. They're gone.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I think like, let's like a 2% energy jump when the Lakers lost. I feel like when the Lakers lost, like just 2% was like, hey, they're gone. let's not waste this. Like I feel like there's just a little bit, was part of that. Or like we don't have to go through LeBron. All right, like
Oh, okay, I got it. I got your point of view. Like, yeah, it could be. Like, okay,
even if it's just 2%. I feel like it's just a little energy jump. Like, hey, we don't have to go through the Lakers and Anthony Davis with LeBron this year.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we don't. Let's do it now. All right, cool. I feel like that was part of it.
It's so funny how Paul George, like, he's finally playing. I don't know, like I saw on Twitter like earlier that the new playoff P is now Porzingis. So I'm like, oh, okay, at least he's not the pandemic P like last year. At least he's finally getting his numbers and his points and stuff.
It's when I was watching Kristaps, as if I was a Mavericks fan, I would be so frustrated with him.
Yeah, because his height is already there.
He's 7'3".
It's so funny because like in Laker translation, they would say he's like Kuzma as well. He's like 7'2" Kuzma. And I'm like, I laughed at that.
Yeah, if you check the points. Yeah,
it's so funny
it's pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate.
I saw this other tweet where someone said he's not 7'3", he's 5'27". Like that's how much that's how he plays. He plays like he's so small. Like I remember, like just today in the game today, there was a fast break. It was 2-on-1. So it was just I think like Reggie Jackson in the middle, and then like Kristaps bringing the ball up, and like one other person sprinting to the basket. And in my head I was like, oh, they're gonna score. And then Kristaps like stops in the 3-point line and just pulls up, and it doesn't go in. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take that. Like that's fine with me.
I know, and it's so fun because like I think they were hyping it earlier in this year, like Luka and Porzingis, like they could be like a duo of some sort, and it's like Luka did everything.
I saw like their salaries, right? Like KP is making like 30 million.
I know, like the same, even more than Jokic and stuff. Like I saw that tweet as well.
Yeah,
like oh my gosh, do your job.
It's funny. It's the first time I've ever felt this way, that a 7'3" guy would go against like Reggie Jackson, and I'll be like, that's a good matchup for us. You know what I mean? Because like he just doesn't do 7'3" stuff.
Yeah, he feels like he's small or something.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, I'm okay with this because I'm rooting against you for this series. But if
you were a Mavs
if you were in my team, like, geez, I'd hate that so much. And like even with Paul George, he didn't have an efficient series shooting, but he kind of did a lot of little stuff, which I was really really glad to see. All right, what do you have for the finals?
Don't ask me on this because my predictions are all wrong, but I really hope I don't know, man.
Give me like your honest. Like,
I wanted to do
what do you want to see? And if someone were to take money out of your bank account and told you to bet, what would that be?
Okay, so since we're really rooting for the young bloods this year, why not Atlanta for the East and Phoenix, Atlanta?
Sheesh.
I don't know. That's such a bold move, but I know that won't happen. But like anything can happen. But like if I would like be super safe, it'd be like Brooklyn, Utah, or something. Or it's so hard because it's either I don't even know who's gonna win the series. Well, initially I thought Brooklyn would win for sure, but now that Harden's gone, I don't know, man. Like I don't know if they can like take Giannis and stuff. How about you? Who's your prediction for the final?
Oh.
Clippers versus who?
I got, okay, so I don't care who comes out of the East. Like, I'll be honest. If I had to bet, I would say Brooklyn comes out of the East.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Milwaukee though. I'd love to see.
I think that Giannis was really thirsty to get to that point. Really.
I'd love to see a Kawhi and Giannis rematch. Like if you remember that game from 2019 with, that series in 2019 with the Raptors and the Bucks in the conference finals, and Milwaukee goes up 2-0, and then they just go 4-0 the rest of the way. I feel like that would be a fun like storyline to jump off.
Yeah, like any point at this point, like what did I say? Any point at this point, like any part in this point, like you really just don't know what's gonna happen. You're just gonna invest on it, like, sheesh.
It's funny. It's so interesting now. We don't have a Golden State and a Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Or like a Laker fan by base. So
We don't have that. We don't have that. Those two teams that just
yeah.
say, "Hey, we're making it to the finals."
And at
And
least that's a point where like people or like fans could actually appreciate these smaller teams, like not
yeah,
smaller, but like these teams now that they could actually see the potential and maybe they could like branch out to their fan
yeah.
base and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, the Laker fan base is so huge that sometimes I wish, oh my gosh, can you guys like I don't know, like I don't want to gatekeep, but like I mean, I
Can you guys
guess
like go to other teams also?
yeah, like, spread out, no worries, no
We're
pressure.
hated enough. Like just go
Yeah.
around.
So as much as like that's just what I hate. Like you guys are open, like anybody's open to be a Laker fan, but like I just hate it when I guess that's where it comes off as like a bandwagon fan because I'm just new and stuff. So I guess this season is an opportunity for other teams to really shine and like to show their own like game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting.
Let's wrap it up. So,
Okay.
last thoughts.
Oh my gosh. I'm really okay. I'm just gonna say how really sad I am, but like I'm sad for the Lakers. Like we could have really done better. Like at least because it's the I guess that's why fans are wilding this year because it's LeBron's first loss in the first round. Like it never happened to him ever. Like this is the first time. But then again, like what I said earlier, like he's really not in his prime anymore. And I guess that it just really happens and stuff. Like injuries happen, like things don't happen the way we plan. So like okay, fine, whatever. But then yeah, I'm just excited for what's to come, like more basketball action for us. I'm really hoping for more game sevens, like
Oh,
those
so fun.
like this Mavs and Clippers matchup. Like I really didn't know that was gonna be
That
the
was a
ending of it.
great
Like
series.
even I know,
It was
like
so
those
fun.
kinds of matchups. Like, I'm really excited to see, like, especially now that these fan bases are not from the Warriors, from the Lakers. Like, these
Yeah.
are really just a different kind of fan base, I guess, and people will really see like how much these players like put their effort and stuff. And I've seen a lot of interviews as well, like from Trey Young, from Devin Booker, how much like they've really worked hard for this moment, and it shows. It
Yeah.
really shows like when they put their hard work into it, just like anybody else. Like, but it's just I guess time for them to shine, and I'm excited about them and how things are gonna get this season.
All right, last thoughts. If you could get one, let's say one realistic trade, who do you think it would be?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so bold, but
Steph Curry. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
Kuz Caruso and Schroeder for Damian. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if that's even possible.
I don't
But
think it's
then, like,
happening, but okay.
I don't know.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
But like, it's just a bold move, guys. Oh my gosh, disclaimer: I am not an analyst or whatever. I'm just a fangirl, just saying my thoughts. So don't at me for this. It's just
You're
really
still gonna get ads.
making my own this is just me like enjoying my thoughts here and venting it out, and I just am happy that I'm able to translate it here.
Thank you for your honesty.
Like I guess that's what makes me a Laker fan, really, the emotional aspect to things.
Yeah.
Like aside from like knowing, I've said this before as well, like aside from me analyzing the data, like the shots, the stat sheet and whatever, like I also have like an emotional attachment to these boys that parang I grew into. And like this is really not just the thing that you do overnight. Like I've been really watching these guys for years and stuff, and I guess that's what I love about being a Laker fan, really. It's just the community that you build, and especially now, like what we're doing right now, like we talk about basketball, we talk about the game, so it beyond like being a Laker fan, it also like builds relationship with other people. And I guess that's just how beautiful the NBA is, really, about how you can go further beyond talking about basketball, but you can also talk about life. And it just changes perspectives as well. So yeah.
All right, thanks for coming back on, and for anybody listening that wants to hear more from her, go check out her episode way back, not way back, maybe like 8-9 months ago,
It's really so
maybe
funny. I
10.
was cringing at myself. You didn't tell me. I was so happy.
You
But
know,
that's the feeling.
it's fine. It's fine. I understand that. Like when you came
But
out
that
and you were
was
so happy, and I was like, yeah, I understand. I'd be happy too.
but now I'm more calm and stuff. So okay.
This
I
is more like
guess
this is more like you.
yeah, this is more the real me. Like the episode before, that was me, but that was my happy fangirl side,
Of course, you just
wherein I had
won.
the really high pitched voice and like, yeah, just one.
I think we recorded. Did we record the night or the day after of winning? Something
I
like that.
think
Like
it was the day after.
yeah, yeah.
That's why I was such in high spirits and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, Laker forever. LA. Oh well, it is still a dream. Like I really hope like after this COVID season is over, like I get to watch in Staples and stuff like that and be a fan. Like really such an honor. Like you also like if you would like watch in Staples as well, like a
Oof.
Clipper Laker game, that would be fun.
That would be so much fun.
I
If I could
know.
watch like an LA game, that'd be even
That would be
better.
worth your money. It's so
That'd be
funny
so
because I
worth
have
it.
a friend who works like in I don't know, like he computed the tax in Staples Center and it was
Oh,
really high.
I'm sure.
I don't know. And like compared to it's so funny because the Staples Center, that's
Yeah,
where the Clippers and the Lakers play. And with the Lakers, it's just so high. And then for the Clippers, I'm so sorry, but it's like low and stuff like
it's
that for their
fine.
taxes and the tickets and stuff. Like that's how much they want to pursue their fan base, I
Yeah.
guess. That's how wild their fan bases are. I don't
If the Clippers win, how will LA Nation react? The Laker Nation.
I I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be World War whatever, and I don't know, man. I'm just gonna wait for the memes and etc. But like me, I'm being the bigger person here as a Laker fan to you. I'm being a bigger person. I'm like, okay, guys, like come on, like your time to shine.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that like aside from like the what's been happening with the audience and stuff. I'm happy that in the Staples Center, like fans were respectful enough not to throw off
They're not.
popcorn and stuff like
Yeah,
that. That's so crazy. Like spitting on Kyrie, that's really so unethical and so. So I just hope nothing like that happens ever. So
yeah. So
really
Staples,
proud.
be chill. I mean, like
Staples.
cheer for the Clippers, but be chill. All right, where can people catch you?
Yes, please catch me on my TikTok at Isabel Perdi and on my socials on Instagram and Twitter at Isabel Perdi. Thank you again, Trey, for having me.
All right. I hope you come back whenever.
Yes, for sure.
I
And
do. I
like
love talking hoops with you. It's really
for
fun.
sure, yeah. And
And yeah.
um to end this, it's so funny, guys. I just want to make cuento that Trey told me like it's okay, you have to release your pain and like this is gonna be like my therapy as a Laker fan. His words, not mine. This is my therapy right now. So I'm really being vulnerable to all your listeners about how I feel and my bold predictions. And I hope you guys love it and enjoy it.
Wob, right? Like on Twitter, Lakers fans therapy session. This is a safe
Oh,
place.
oh my gosh.
This
Yeah,
is a
yeah. I
safe
think I've
place.
seen that. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
So this is a safe place for you anytime.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right,
so much for
Isabel, thanks for
having
coming
me.
on.
Thanks, Trey.
Catch you again soon. We'll be messaging throughout the whole playoffs,
For
and we'll see what
sure.
happens.
I will message you whenever Clippers win. Every time the Clippers win, I will
Yeah.
message you and be like, congrats. Because I'm the bigger person now.
Congrats.
I'm not like an immature Laker fan who trash talks.
You're one of the people that I respect in the Lakers community.
Yeah.
So great, good job.
Be like me, guys. If you're a Laker
Tama.
fan out there, be a Laker fan, but with respect. And
Like you're allowed to be happy, like in the first episode you did, but
yeah.
in
But
episodes like
right
this,
now, I wanna hide with whatever I said that time.
nah, you're good.
It shows growth, guys. It just shows.
It shows growth. All right, I'll see you soon. Message anytime. Catch her
Yes.
everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Isabel Perdigon, and I'll see you soon.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening. To check out more episodes, go check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And for clips and full episodes, you can check out our videos on YouTube.